In 2016, FX dropped Atlanta, an Afro-surrealist series about a man named Ern, played by Donald Glover, who navigates life in Atlanta alongside his cousin and friends. And on April 5th, 2018, they would drop their most shocking episode to date. That episode is Teddy Perkins. The episode opens with Darius traveling outside of Atlanta to pick up a free multicolored key piano he found in an online forum. It looks like a normal day, but it's not, because unbeknownst to Darius, this would turn into one of the most terrifying days of his life. When he gets to the house, he knocks on the door, only to find that it's already open. He walks in and is greeted by this ghoulish figure that lurks from the shadows. This is Teddy Perkins. He looks freakish, powdered white skin, painted lips, emotionless eyes. Any regular person would get out of there as fast as humanly possible when coming face to face with this almost eternal looking figure. But not Darius. Teddy invites Darius to sit with him in the parlor while they go over the details of the piano. Teddy makes a note to get Darius a glass of water and then starts to crack into a soft boiled ostrich egg. This is the moment any sensible person would leave the house and never turn back. But not Darius. He's there for one reason and one reason only: to get that piano. After a few minutes of awkward conversation, Teddy asks Darius if he's a music lover and tells him that the piano belonged to Benny Hope, his brother, a famous pianist. Darius asks him if his brother passed, and Teddy says,
"No, he's alive. He lives here with me."
This was the point where I wasn't prepared for just how dark this episode was going to get. Teddy leaves to get Darius a glass of water, so Darius takes it upon himself to explore the house. He goes from room to room, looking at photos and various items Teddy has throughout the home. When they were sitting in the parlor, Teddy told Darius that Benny had developed a rare skin condition that made him sensitive to light, so all the windows had to be covered. As Darius continues to explore, something horrifying is revealed to the audience. Teddy is secretly watching him. Some time passes and Darius hears piano music coming from upstairs. He tiptoes up the stairs and down the hall so that he can listen outside the door. But as soon as he gets to the door, Teddy frantically opens it. Teddy asks Darius why he's on the second floor, and after he explains himself, Teddy tells Darius that the person playing the piano was Benny, but he can't come to the door because he's tired and needs rest. He again asks Darius what kind of water he would like and sends him back downstairs. At this point, Darius is starting to think that something is up. He catches on that Teddy is stalling for some reason and starts to think that there actually isn't a Benny and that Teddy is pretending to be Benny to make up for the fact that he destroyed his face. His friend Alfred tells him he needs to be straight up with Teddy so that he can get out of there before something weird happens. As soon as he agrees with Alfred, Teddy invites him back inside. Teddy, still stalling, brings him upstairs to show him his favorite room in the house. This is a room he calls the gift shop, a museum dedicated to Benny Hope, and he refers to it as his trophy room. When Darius enters the room, Teddy takes a picture of him with a Polaroid camera, which catches Darius off guard. He then shows Darius his favorite part of the museum, a tribute room to fathers of great musicians. He opens up about his abusive past with his father and says that the abuse Benny faced at the hands of their father is what made him a great musician. They were sacrifices for something greater. He says he's going to include exhibits for great fathers like Joe Jackson, who abused Michael Jackson and his siblings, and Marvin Gaye's father, who shot and killed Marvin. At this point, Darius is ready to go. He's been more than patient with Teddy and cuts him off, asking him if there are any papers he needs to sign for the piano. And in that moment, Teddy's mood instantly changes. He flings the doors of the room open and tells Darius to come with him to sign the papers. While Teddy is looking for the transfer documents, Darius tells him that he can't possibly imagine what Teddy and Benny must have gone through with their father. And Teddy screams at him, saying,
"No, you can't! You have no idea!"
And he aggressively smacks the piano and leaves the room. Finally, Darius has the piano. But there's a problem. He has to get it downstairs. He remembered that Teddy had told him he can use the surface elevator to move the piano, and as he goes to move it, he finds blood on one of the keys. Now, for the first time this episode, Darius is telling himself he needs to get out of that house. He pushes the piano into the elevator and hits the button for the first floor, but it doesn't take him to the first floor. It takes him to the basement. Darius, being curious, leaves the elevator to check out the basement and stumbles upon a man in a wheelchair, wrapped in bandages. The man, who we can assume is Benny, motions to Darius to be quiet and then writes, "Teddy kill us both," on a chalkboard. He then writes, "gun in attic," insinuating that he wants Darius to either bring him the gun or kill Teddy. Darius tells Benny that he first has to put the piano in the truck and then he'll come back to help him. Now Darius obviously isn't gonna do this. He's getting the hell out of there as soon as he gets the piano in the truck. He makes it to the first floor, goes outside, and realizes there's a problem. Teddy has him blocked in. Now Darius has to do the one thing he doesn't want to do. He has to go back inside and ask Teddy to move his car. Armed with a fire poker, he looks everywhere for him and finds him in the gift shop, watching a chilling video of Benny practicing the piano as their father towers over him. Benny messes up and their father smacks the piano the exact same way Teddy smacked the piano earlier. He tells Teddy that he has him blocked in, and Teddy looks at him with a dazed look and tells him he'll move his car. Darius, frightened by Teddy, asks him where the bathroom is, and Teddy says it's upstairs, right next to the attic. And at this moment, Darius realizes Teddy had been watching him the entire time. Teddy then escalates the situation by pointing a loaded gun at him, telling Darius that he's going to be a sacrifice for him, the same way Teddy and Benny were a sacrifice to their father. Darius yells at him, saying, "There is no Benny," and Teddy says, "Exactly. There is no Benny," insinuating that he had already killed him. He forces Darius to sit in a chair in the foyer and cuff his hands and feet, and you can see that Darius is truly terrified. Trying to plead with Teddy, Darius tells him that what him and Benny went through wasn't right and that he himself has issues with his father. But this doesn't faze Teddy. As Teddy continues to talk, the elevator starts to move. It reaches the first floor, and out wheels Benny. Teddy is both surprised and horrified to see that Benny is alive, and in that moment, Benny grabs the gun and shoots Teddy, and then himself, killing them both. The episode ends with the police at the scene and Darius pulling off in his U-Haul as Evil by Stevie Wonder plays in the background. So who is Teddy Perkins? Is he actually Benny's brother? The answer is yes. The dynamic between Teddy and Benny is a reference to the 1962 film Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, where a former child star torments her paraplegic sister, who eclipsed her as a movie star in their decaying Hollywood mansion while desperately clinging to the hopes of a comeback. Benny Hope was the more talented brother and had led a prominent life of fame and fortune until he became disabled by a rare skin condition. Teddy Perkins became his brother's support after he failed to become a successful musician. Due to being stunted both physically and creatively, Benny became a tremendous burden on Teddy's life. On the other hand, Teddy had no other source of income aside from his brother's wealth and name. Tired of taking care of his brother and leading a life in the shadows, Teddy decided to finally gain a life of his own at the cost of his brother's prior fame. He went about this by baiting a Benny Hope fanatic to the home before framing that person for murdering his brother. The news of Benny's death would move fans and bring in guests to the Benny Hope Museum Teddy was creating. The setup for killing them seemed ritualistic in a way. When he brings Darius into the gift shop for the first time, he takes a picture of him, almost like it was a trophy he would keep after killing him. He also refers to the gift shop as his trophy room. When Darius cuts him off while he's monologuing in the Hall of Great Fathers, Teddy snaps as if the ritual is being interrupted. And finally, he refers to Darius as his sacrifice, meaning his death would bring renewal into Teddy's life. Everything was going well for Teddy until he realized he failed to kill Benny, leading to his demise. What's your take on Teddy Perkins? Let me know down below. And if you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. and I'll see you next time.